Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Mac Merlin stream, the first in, I'd say, almost a month at this point. So for all of you who don't know what happened, I was back home in the Philippines, number one, visiting my family, but also for a giant meetup. And I did come back last week, but I guess the change in weather, the change in environment, I came back to Seattle, immediate 104-degree fever. That's 40 degrees Celsius. And I was out the entire week, was really hoping to stream, but yeah, did not happen at all. Just recently recovered this past Saturday, but I'm all well now, so we can do our weekly group buy news stream. So yeah, I attended the largest meetup I have ever attended in my entire life. And just gonna show a quick few snapshots before I jump into the show. So yeah, this is a shot of probably at the tail end of the meetup. At this point, we had just finished our last couple talks and giveaways, and so I'd say this represents a majority of the people. This is about 1,600 if I get my numbers correctly, but yeah, this was huge. See if you guys can find me here. I'm big hint. I'm the only one with a wizard hat. But yeah, Tataimo, this was held over in Manila in a convention center called Metro Tent over in Pasig. Yeah, I don't know where that is in relationship to everywhere else. I was just told it's in Pasig. So yeah, huge event, lots of people, lots of Filipinos. So yeah, as part of the convention, I was invited to do a little talk about stuff. I was interviewed for a good 5 minutes or so, talking about my experience with QMK, my experience with being a builder and a YouTuber in this community. Lots of other pictures. There will be a comprehensive Mech Merlin YouTube video coming out shortly. I just haven't had time to edit. Been so sick, but it should come out next week. But yeah, if this is your first time joining in, welcome. This is the start of, I guess, the, it's a new beginning of sorts for Mech Merlin after not streaming for like an entire month. We'll be finally starting our weekly group buy news segment once again. We like to cover group buy news that are starting and occurring for the following week. This particular episode covers anything tonight, November 6th, till November 12th. As usual, I will miss a few things, especially since I haven't been here for an entire month. But if you think that there is something that I missed or should talk about, definitely hit me up during the audience group buy section at the tail end of the stream. So yeah, without further ado, let's start off with our very first ending group buy. This one's all the way on drop and is ending technically tomorrow. This one is, on the 7th actually, if I'm not mistaken. That's on the 8th. This is CRP round 5. You guys have been looking at all of the available PBT cherry profiles in the market today, and you're wondering which ones are heralded as the best. Unfortunately, I personally can't point out to anyone out there that is going to be the best. I think everyone has their own best qualities. But one thing about Hammerworks CRP Round 5 is that this one, a lot of people say this is the set to have. Everyone needs to at least have one of these. So, you're not just limited to beige, because that's boring. You can choose beige, you can choose Greek beige, different colored sub-legends, you can choose let's see what else. There's Greek, there's Japanese, there's Korean, for those of you from Taiwan. There's also the sub-legends there as well. But yeah, bunch of them. You guys can just scroll down through this list. You're looking to spend $125 for a typical base kit, or if you're looking at just a numpad like here, you're looking at $25. This does have an estimated delivery time of May 31st, 2023, so not too far if you ask me. I personally don't have a CRP set myself. Like, I honestly still think they're a little too classic looking for me, you know? But these are all the different options you guys can take. Let's see, SK Josie says, CRP is so good, best PBT I've tried. There we go, see? Told you a lot of people like it. But yeah, check it out if you guys are interested. This guy expires on the 8th. You're looking to spend $125 for a base kit of sorts. There we go. Next up on our list of expiring group buys is a GMK set. This one expires the following day, November 9th. Here we go. This one is GMK Tenshi, all the way on the Kono store. For a $124.99, you have a base kit that supports up to full size and most of the common layouts in between. You have a bunch of other smaller kits in it as well, such as the Latin set, if you don't like sub-legends, novelties, space bars, 1 metal artisan, and 2 dust mats of your choice, a light and a dark one. Let's take a look at some of these renders here. Let's see, it's funny because my last stream, which was in the Philippines, like my last stream was a group by new stream segment as well, but I did it in the Philippines. We had talked about Tenshi just starting up. So I guess now we're talking about it ending since I've been gone for a month, you know? So yeah, at the time when I talked about this, I did say that I found this pretty, but at the same time, the colors weren't vibrant enough for me. Like, I get it's very thematic, but I don't usually buy key sets on theme alone. Like, I buy it because I like the colors. So yeah, if you guys really want a angelic themed key set, this might just be it for you. So yeah, to buy all of the kits, you're looking to spend about $345, and GMK set puts us at Q2 2023 delivery, which coincidentally is earlier than CRP round 5. Alright, next up. This one is a set that I'm still wondering if I should get or not. Next up is KAM Kamistry. All the way on Rocket keyboards, you have a huge kitting over here. You have like so many different kits. Alphas or Alphas periodic. I believe when I first talked about this, to really fit with the name of this, I think you at least need to get the Alpha periodic. Look at that. That's just so pretty right there. And it's really not all that expensive. If you wanted to buy a base kit, meaning just the alphas, like these alphas and a set of modifiers, you're looking to spend about $88. And that doesn't really matter if you're going with the text or the icon mods, or if you're going for the periodic or regular alphas. The price for that will be the same. However, if you want, you know, buy literally everything here, you know, if you want to buy every single item here, you're looking to spend $920. So this is probably our most expensive key set for the week. $920 to buy all of these kits. So yeah, that's Conrad Carson says, good lord. Well, yeah, that's if you buy everything, right? This is expected for a kit with so many different. This is expected for a key set with so many kits. So yeah, check it out if you guys are interested. Here, let me paste the link in chat. This one is delivering in Q4 2023. So not too long of a wait, fingers crossed. Right, next up is a DMK set. This one expires on the 11th. Here we go. This is another DMK set, and if you're looking for a desert themed set, look no further than Silent Desert, Cherry Profile ABS double shot keycaps. When I first looked at this, it kind of reminded me of there was a Canon cap set that just released that looks very similar to this. Let me just check that out really quick, because I swear I've seen this exact same colorway, but in PBT, because this works very well in PBT. Let's see, what was it called? It was called It's not Shinbun. It's, I guess classic gray would work. Sweater weather. There we go. That's it. So it's use chopstick. Sweater weather. That's it. Yeah, this one is ABS and double shot instead of sweater weather, which is PBT. But yeah, similar with a lot of DMK sets, you know, you don't have to buy each of these kits on their own. You also have the option to do the all-in-one with a special novelty that gives you this buying incentive right there for $179. So you can either buy just the base alone for $105 or buy the all-in-one kit for just a few bucks more, bringing it up to $179. I don't think this one has the re-legendables. If you want the re-legendables, you still have to buy them on your own. It's only $7, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So yeah, this one has an estimated delivery date to you, the customer, of April 2023. Base $105 to go all in. Buying the all-in-one kit, $179. Expiring on the 11th. So check it out. See, as far as I know, those are the only key sets that are expiring this week. Just as a quick recap, that is CRP Round 5 all the way on drop. There's GMK Tenshi on Kono Store. There's KAM Kamistry on Rocket Keyboards. DMK Desert all the way on KP Republic. And yeah, those are the 5 key sets. Oh, 4 key sets that are expiring this week. Out of these 4, which ones is the audience most interested in? Let me know in chat. Let me know in chat which ones you guys like the most. The Kamistry for sure as a Shaggin' Wagons, yep. Let's see, for me, Desert says use chopstick, Kamistry, Helicopter Fluffy says CRP, Tulip says Gundam Maku, CRP R5, Korean Beige says SK Josie, Tempted by CRP, cool. Yeah, I think if it were me, as much as I like CRP and all the good things that I've heard about it, there's just so much more out there these days, and CRP kind of looks a little too classic for my taste, so I would skip out on CRP. The one I would get is most likely Kamistry, just because, you know, I'm not a big fan of the cam profile. It's not super comfortable to me. It's something I could have as one of my novelty key sets, you know. Looks nice, and I think it's well designed. But yeah, that would be my pick for the day, or for the week, KAM Kamistry. The specific sets I would pick would probably be Alpha's Periodic, and Icon Mods, and man, I like both the text and icon novelties. I'd do both, you know. I'd do both. That's what I would do. Gatekeeper says, nice to see you in person. Yeah. Forgive me, I might not be able to remember your exact face, but hopefully I will see you next year as well. See, thanks for signing my board. Oh yeah, for sure. Maybe I'll bring my boards next year. Yeah, I was hoping to bring boards, but you know, when you have a 23 kilogram weight limit per bag, and one of your bags is a guitar case, you don't really have much room to work with that, you know. But yeah, let's talk about ending keyboards. Ending group buy keyboards. Let's start off with one that is ending today. But here we go. The first keyboard that's ending is the Gridiron, all the way on the P3D store. $140. If you guys are looking for a nicer case for your 40%, your Plonk specifically, this might be it. When I first saw this, I thought this was going to be a Ortho Linear Iron 165, Gridiron. But you know, when you look at it, you're like, wait, that's not it. That's just a fancier, a better case for the Plonk. I had a Plonk long ago. Did not like ortholinear, so do not have the Plonk anymore. But yeah, if any of you have that board or have any of its newer iterations, definitely check this out. This one has the expected delivery date of March 2023 and sells for 140 bucks. The next board that's expiring is... I heard about this board, but I guess I forgot about it just as quick. There, this is another Rutra Studio board. This is the M931, expiring on the 12th, which is... No, actually not on the 12th, on the 9th, actually. On the 9th. But yeah, this is a... Like, how should I describe this? It's... At first glance, it looks like a TKL, but not really. It does have those arrow keys, and it has a numpad on it. It's hard to describe this particular layout. It's one of those boards with a unique layout. Delivery time. Start packing sending Rutra Studio direct customers in Q2 2023. Not bad. This does retail for $269, or if you go for the white version, the electrophoresis white version, it does bump up the price by 20 bucks to $289. Here, let's take a look at a few more pictures here. Yeah, this is a very unique board. I guess if you like the size of a TKL, but really need a numpad of sorts, then you may want to consider this. It is a very unique layout, if you ask me. Oh, okay. So USB-C goes in on the top right, on the back. Okay. Looks to be some kind of a weight there, and a pen rail. Looks like a pretty decent board. But what are its specs? Let me see some specs here. Okay, 5.5 degree typing angle, 20 millimeter front height. Okay, that's a little higher than I'm comfortable with. The weight is 1.7 kilograms. Mounting method is top mount, 1.2 millimeter hot swap PCB. Okay, via supported ESD protection. Interesting. Okay. So I'm assuming this does not have a daughter board and that the ESD protection is built on the PCB itself. Other highlight: cluster shorted numpad and utility keys. Retains basic F-zone and navigation layers, pen holder. Okay. Looks like there's a couple typing sounds already. Yeah, it's a very interesting board to me. And I'm mainly interested because of the layout. But then again, it's been a while since I've had to use a numpad for anything, really. But yeah, if you guys are interested in this one has an estimated delivery time of Q2 2023 and expect to spend up to $289 depending on the finishing. Construction reminds me of the Matrix app. Yeah, especially this back piece right here. That totally sounds like a Matrix Labs kind of deal. So last but not the least of keyboards that I know of that are expiring this week is the Hibiki. $365. You have a 65% layout board. And let's see. Yeah, this is only one price, no matter which color you choose, including the very beautiful brown or chalk brown. It's all going to be $365. And the estimated time of delivery is next year, August 2023. Yeah, look at that. Really, really beautiful. Couple important details: 65%, 6-degree typing angle, isolation mount, aluminum top, polycarb base, Wilbotech PCB, QMK and VIA support. So you have an optional solder rolled PCB if you want ISO and all that good stuff. And yeah. Hot swap layout options, bunch of foams that you can put in, gaskets as well. Yeah, I like those thick bezels. Yeah, look at that. Very Hibiki with GMK Hall U. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna say that the chalk colored one, you can find a render. Probably the best looking one. Give me the chalk colored one. Looks like you can only see it if you select it. Oh, there you go. There's one in the video right there. And there's one if you pick it right there. Yeah, that one's probably one of the most beautiful browns I've seen. If I were to get this board, I would pair this with Amazing Chocolatier, since that is a set that's just sitting in my collection here, gathering dust, looking for the perfect board to put it on. Yeah, check it out, guys. This one expires this coming Saturday on the 12th. So out of these 3 boards that I just talked about, that's the Gridiron, the Plonk case, the M931, the TKL-like board with the interesting layout, or the Hibiki 65. Which one of these are you guys most interested in? Let me know in the chat. The Comrade Question says, Hibiki, Kavita Tech says, Hibiki Chalk. Oh yeah, Hibiki Chalk for sure. Says Acubens. Hibiki, wow, that's pretty, you know, most people like the same thing. Hibiki, I just wish it had a blocker of some kind. Me and you both. All of them don't appear to me, says Zay. Shaggin' Wagon says Hebe as well. Let's see. If it were me, I'm not an ortholinear user, so definitely no Gridiron for me. You know, if I had a cool 289 bucks just burning a hole in my wallet with nothing else to spend it on, I would probably buy the M931 just because it's such a unique layout. I don't think I've owned a board that has this particular layout, nor have I ever seen one. So it would be cool just to have. But in reality, the board with the most practical usability for me, the one that I actually find really beautiful, is gonna be the Hibiki. But wow, 365 bucks. But yeah, that is the end of the ending group buy section. If hopefully I got most of the things. Like, I know I've been gone for like an entire month, so I'm obviously not gonna cover 3 weeks of content in one show. I'll just pretend that none of that happened. Yeah. But yeah, let's move on to the in-stock segment. Yeah, I know I've been talking about group buys, and you know, while the community seems to be drifting away from group buys are still very much a thing. And sometimes group buys suck. You know, you don't want to have to wait a month, 2 months, maybe 2 years to wait for your keyboard or key set to come in. Sometimes you just want to buy it now and have it shipped to you and arrive to you in 1 week. So we're going to talk about some in-stock stuff. I grab all of my in-stock information from thoughtstock.com. I'm not going to talk about everything there, obviously, but there are a few things that have piqued my interest. So we'll talk about the very first one, and as soon as I show it to you guys, you are going to know exactly why I picked this. You're going to be like, oh, of course Merlin would pick that. Artisan Keycap puller for $12.99. There are several of them available, but guess which one I'm gonna get? Take a big guess which one of these I would get. Community checks, it's a cat key. Close. I would go for the cat paw. This one, I think this one would work. Oh wow, I did not expect it to jump out like that. But yeah, this will pair well with my Nyong 75, which I still need to rebuild, by the way. For $12.99, definitely not bad. I might have to buy several of them. Let's see, let's look at the bone one. Bone one, golden hoop. I think the golden hoop looks a little bit more what you would expect, right? And of course, there's the fairy stick. Look at that. But yeah, $12.99. Currently in stock at kineticlabs.com. So yeah, check it out if you guys are interested. The next item that I'm very interested about is a key set that I recently got. I've since removed it from the keyboard that I had it on because I need to go send it back to a customer. But what I'm talking about is NicePBT Vasilisa, all the way on Canon keys. In my opinion, this is one of the more nicer gradient keycaps I've seen in a while. I typically don't buy gradient keycaps because I don't know, I just didn't think that they looked all that great. But this one is a different story. Look at that. Looks really good. Looks really well on black and gray keyboards, in my opinion. And I have been impressed with NicePBT quality standards. I feel like this is one of the things that Canon keys just keeps iterating on. They keep making it better. If not the key set, then the packaging. In fact, NicePBT Vasilisa has the nicest packaging out of all the NicePBTs I've received so far. I did receive 2 more boxes from Canon keys in my absence. Don't know what they are, but stay tuned next week and you'll see me unbox them. But yeah, very beautiful key set. No, I feel like if Canon keys didn't send this to me, I definitely would have bought it for myself. But yeah, check it out if you guys are interested. That's NicePBT Vasilisa. Another key set that drew my attention. Well, it drew my attention when PBTFans first sent it to me. And I showcased it on, I think it was on my, I forget what board, it's been so long. But yeah, what I'm talking about is PBTFans Twist. So at the time that I showcased it, it was only available on PBTFans, but it has now gone over to Divinikey. If you guys have never heard of Divinikey's, Divinikey's is one of my many sponsors on this channel. They're located in California, and they are basically a PBTFans reseller. If you find something you like on PBTFans, but you don't necessarily want to buy internationally or pay for shipping like that, always check Divinikey first. They're bound to have something there. But yeah, check this out. I really like the set because of the yellow sub-legends, and yellow is one of my favorite sub-colors. It's one of my favorite colors. But yeah, check it out if you guys are interested. And if you use discount code WIZARD, you do get 5% off. So if you guys like what I do here, make sure you use that key. Let's talk about starting group buys. And you know, there's not too much starting, but I guess we'll find out once we jump into the audience group buy section. But here we go. The only group buy I could find that was starting, is, hopefully I'm pronouncing this correct, the Phobos. This one's starting tomorrow, on the 7th. This one is all the way on RGBKB. Let's see, if you're into split keyboards like RGB, then check this out. Yeah, these are hot swap, north-facing LEDs though, so if you have a thing against that, this might not be the board for you. Look at that. See a couple features here. 66 keys, MX hot swap, 152 LED full backlight and perimeter RGB, magnetic screwless assembly. Very cool. All kits include polished steel bottom, carbon fiber top available, gasket mount switch plate or PCB, compatible with all Soul 3 accessories. Interesting. Uses the same case, middle, and bottom plates as the Soul 3. Yeah, if you guys have been following RGBKB for a while, this might be a very nice upgrade for you. Yeah, this does go for about 200 bucks, so expensive. Expensive, as you guys can see. I do have a similar board to this. In my experience, okay, so I feel like this type of board really works for my typing habits. Like I can type on this relatively fast and it's very comfortable for me. But the reason why I don't is number one, it's hard to find keycaps that make this whole thing look good. And number two, I've never been a fan of the shape. I don't like split keyboards because of the shape. It's not very aesthetic to me. If I'm gonna put something on my desk at work or at home, you know, I'd really want it to look good as well, right? But in terms of usability, this one definitely just super comfortable. But I will trade comfort for looks, especially if it's only a small degree of added comfort. Yeah, as far as I know, that is the only keyboard that is starting this week. And you know what? I haven't been updating this as much as I thought I should. So let me just update our group by list command really quick, and then we can move on to the next part of the show. All right, so as I said, this is the only one I could find. So it's now time to move on to the audience group by section. So once again, if you guys haven't seen this for a while, let me post a few rules in chat. We like to only do group by, so you know, I guess we do some interest checks if the interest check is going to be a group by for the following week, but definitely just keep them group bys occurring this week, November 6th all the way till Saturday, November 12th. Do include a link to it so I can show everyone on stream, add a little bit of context so I don't have to read through the entire group by post, add start and end dates, and anything in particular I need to pay attention to. So yeah, just whisper that to me. You can right click on my name or just do /whisper. I'll be keeping an eye here on chat. Nightelix, yeah, we'll talk about this since it started literally yesterday, not too far away from our cutoff dates. But here we go. This is from Nightelix. This is the Matrix 6XV 3.0 Corsa. So let me put that in chat really quick and in our group by news. There we go. Ends on the 15th. Okay, but started on the 5th. Here we go. Let's see. This is a 65% keyboard with a blocker for the arrows and a top right blocker as well. It looks like it is an LED. Very nice. Let's see, look at the specifications. Screwless catch ball structure, bottom mount. Oh, it's been a while since I've seen a bottom mount board. Hot swap PCB included. Timeline. Estimated arrival Q2 2023. Very nice. Couple proxies available, and as usual, as per Matrix Labs, lots of different colors available here and there. Die Zone says, nice to see you in Grand Lason. Good seeing you too. Hope to see you next year. I do plan on returning. Look at that. There we go. Now you can see what the LED is. That's really cute. Oh, that back looks great. What does the back say? Powered by Matrix Labs. Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I really like Matrix. I really like Matrix designs. I just think sometimes they're a little bit too much. Too many different parts. Look at that. Oh, Klein Blue. I wonder if that's the same Klein Blue as the PBTFans Klein Blue we were just talking about. You know? But yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, Nightelix. We'll move on to the next person. There we go. This one's from Shaggin' Wagons. Interesting. Another novel keys link. Okay. Nixie Switch remakes. Interesting. So what this is basically Cherry MX Black with clear tops. Interesting. Okay. All right. So for those of you who aren't too well versed as to what these are, way back in the day, you know, pretty much all Cherry MX switches came with a solid top. So if you were trying to build a custom keyboard and you wanted to have in-switch lighting, it didn't really work out all that well because of the non-transparent top, right? However, people discovered that if you went for Nixies, which were only available on certain keyboards, certain vintage keyboards, not only do you get the vintage black experience, but you got a clear top. So people harvested these like crazy. These sold for high dollar, you know, all those things. Until we had Gridiron switches, people tried 3D printing tops, and they were all like super flimsy and everything. I saw some of the first prototypes, and while they worked, it led to the top being so loose that switch films became like a necessity for like all this. But yeah, this is a remake, I guess. If you kind of want to own a part of history, well, I guess it wouldn't be a part of history anymore since it's a remake, right? And people called them Nixies because they came from, you know, they came from the Nixdorf computers. So this wouldn't necessarily be called a Nixie anymore because they're not coming from those computers. And yeah, interesting. 2160. If you're looking for the ultimate smooth experience, I would still stay away from these. This is just, from what I'm seeing right here, this is just basically a regular Cherry MX switch. Yeah. Anyway, let's put this in the GB list command. Cherry MX Black, clear tops. It's funny though, because I feel like this is a move that Cherry should have made back in 2015 when people were looking for this already. You know? They could have cornered the market back then. Okay. From Tofi Studios. Never heard of this company before. But it is the Blueberry from 379 bucks. Looks like it is a blockered arrows and top right blocker 65%. Gasket mount keyboard. Interesting. Here, let me put that in chat so you guys can follow along. Estimated fulfillment Q1 2023. Different colors to choose from. Okay. And the full E white, that's the one that goes to 386. You also have a PC version, E white PC also for 386. Let's see. Interesting. Not too much information. Not. Here, let's do info. Not much information about this keyboard, actually. They did an IC earlier this year, having the most flexiest PCB. Ooh, okay. Yeah, not much specs right here from what I can see. Just on images alone, the board looks pretty decent. Though, let's see, it looks pretty chunky, which I like. You know, I'd like to see what the bottom looks like though. But for 386, you know, it's... See, what's another board we just talked about that was 300? That was the Hibiki, right? Yeah, so the Hibiki was... What were its specs? It was... Or the Hibiki, I mean. 365 ETA of August 2023. This one's more expensive and has an earlier estimated fulfillment date. Interesting. Okay. Never heard of this vendor before, so best of luck to them, I guess. The Near Lucid did a review already. What was the verdict? The no regional vendors? Is this all on them? Oh wow. Okay. Wysocks says don't recall. See, Blueberry Park said unsure to trust since it's the vendor's first time. Well, yeah, there's definitely that, but just because it's their first time doesn't mean that they're going to mess up, you know? There are some instances where a vendor does very well the first time, but then screws up the rest. And of course there's some that screw up the first but do well the rest, right? So it's really hard to tell. The best thing you can do is to be informed of their processes, you know, and make sure that they actually communicate with their customers. All right, yeah, let me put this in our group buy list. Let's see, next one is Zaid the Banana. Oh, okay, this one starts on the 11th. Oh, yes, this one. Here we go. This is Hineybeige. Another key set from Hineybeige. Look at that. Looks like it's going to be sold on novel keys. You guys know how I feel about beige sets. It's just too much. Too much and too plain Jane for me. But check it out, guys. 99 bucks. Let's see, what does the kit look like? The kit... Yeah, there we go. Looks like it fits full size and splits spacebar support. Okay, that's good. So you've also got caps, Hibiki caps. Very nice. Okay. Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of beige anymore. Beige anything, it just looks too boring to me. Okay, this one starts on the 11th. Let me put that in chat. Hineybeige. Okay, this one's from KFA. Cool. We go early access, January. 60% O-ring mount. Okay. Oh, look at that. Let's see. 2-1 describes it as an upcoming nicer Bakaneko 60. There it is. Jordan says, turning my volume up, there's a slight buzzing. Yeah, I live in a old condo apartment complex, so it's, you know, the wiring sucks here. Well, at least you didn't notice it until the end of the stream, and apparently only till you turn up the volume. Well, that's good. Guess things are doing better today than they are usually. Let's see. Well, a fancier Bakaneko. That back weight definitely looks like a fancy piece of weight. The frosted case 270, smoked PC case 295. Interesting. Typing angle 6 degrees. Okay. I love how everyone's saying it's a more expensive Bakaneko. It's like that's part of the marketing, you know? I think that's so funny. It just shows, it just goes to show how important the Bakaneko design is. You know, it's like back then we used to be all about tray mount 60s. Now with the inclusion of the Bakaneko, like why make another tray mount when you can just make another Bakaneko, right? Are there more features for the money other than it looking good and from the looks of it probably better anodization? And it's a Bakaneko. It's a fancy Bakaneko. Alright, doesn't look like anyone else is sending me stuff. I think this is a good time to end the stream. I think we are at just under an hour. Let me issue that uptime command. Oh, a little over an hour. But yeah, thanks guys for joining in on my first stream after a month. I will be having more streams this week. In fact, I have a lot of unboxing to do. Stuff that came to me over the last month while I was not here. If you guys want to see what Canon Keys has sent me and what a couple other vendors have sent me, definitely tune in this Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. PDT. Alright guys, thanks for joining in. Catch you later.